Men who like to keep their morning routine simple will love these multi-for-him gummies, specially formulated with 12 key nutrients designed to support men's daily nutritional needs. Nature-made multi-for-him gummies help support muscle and bone health. It improves your immune health, and it increases your energy metabolism. With the quality you can trust, nature-made multi-for-him gummies have no artificial flavors, no synthetic dyes, no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners, and is gluten-free. Pharmacists around the world have recommended Nature Made to be the #1 vitamin and supplement brand. So when you need something that's going to help you get you through the day, when you need something that's going to increase your energy to help you get you through that workout, to make you perform as an elite athlete at the top of your ability, try Nature Made Multi-for-Him gummies, because you don't want to stop.
To the 12th round.
Hey, welcome to the Terror Dome. You should be heading home, cause you could bring all of your ninjas and the Technodrome. I rip right through your flesh and bone and mental capacity. Flood your mind with atrocities and copious tragedies. This dark Sabbath is a lesson in street. Behold, the church of the ghetto, feel the words when I preach. Amen. Let the Lord say a prayer for they don't end up in front of someone banging their trigger. Living life like a war pig. Fuck the law, I'm getting mine. Let the others figure what the cost is. Purchasing the fortress of gorgeous acres enormous. Car park full of foreigners and women just waiting on us. We living the dream. Y'all living like hell is earthbound. We are not the same. You've been a lame since birth, pal. I don't feel sorry. I recommend they go dirt bound. Doggy dog world, and you've been looking like Chuck Brown.
Well, beautiful people, best damn nation. It is Wednesday, and you know what time it is. It is the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. I am your humble host, Brian Renegade, and with me, I have the best damn crew. First of all, if this man was to play any superhero, it would have to be T'Challa from the Black Panther. That's how noble and powerful this man is without eating the sacred earth. He is the green-eyed bandit. He fights people. Sometimes he bites people. He's the Brownsville bully. He's your mama's favorite wrestler, and he can whoop your daddy, your uncle, and your granddaddy ass. The one and only Roosevelt, the fighter. How you doing, my brother?
What's up, Brian? And ladies and gentlemen, we have with me the captain of the ship, head honcho. If the Titanic was here today, he would save it. He's the one that leads us to the promised land. Okay? Plymouth Rock wouldn't even land on us if this man was in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Renegade. What's going on, brother?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, my brother. Yeah. Since he ain't using it no more, I'm going to use it. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yo, that catchphrase was so stupid that it stuck.
I love that. I love that too, my brother.
That it stuck. And you know what? Let's get right into it.
Let's get into
your favorite segment. Go ahead and drop that little beautiful bean footage there, brother.
Beautiful people, you know what time it is. It is my favorite segment that we do each and every week. Prepare yourself. It's Hot Topics. There has been a search A legendary search for The Ways of the Lucha by Chad Gable. If you don't know what I'm talking about, on Monday Night Raw, Chad Gable of American Made, who is a decorated Olympian. Okay. This man is the truth. He is a great wrestler. He's a great technician. If you had to compare his style with anybody in wrestling, it would definitely be Kurt Angle or a Ken Shamrock, his style. Yeah, you got to give it to him. Ankle lock, they all have to ankle lock. All of them do suplexes. Same difference. You know what I'm saying? That wrestlers, layout. But anyway, Chad Gable has been on the search for the ways of the Lucha Man. And on Monday Night Raw, we just seen Rey Mysterio get attacked by a masked man wearing an American Lucha mask. Is this Chad Gable? Inquiring minds would like to know. Roosevelt, what do you think about this whole Chad Gable trying to find the inner Lucha in him?
Man, this Lucha Gable that they got going on is funny in several different ways. It's funny because they've done it at least 30, 50, 11 times. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that means it works.
They keep saying the same thing over and over. When he first came out, whoever this masked superstar is, we're going to use the video game creative character name right now. The masked superstar, okay? Whoever it is, the first time he came out, I said, that looked like Mr. America. And I hate it. Because Hulk Hogan was Mr. America, and I hate it.
Oh, you're talking about when Hulk Hogan had the mask on and he had the American flag kind of, yeah, it gave you that vibe.
It gave me that vibe immediately, and I was like, no. Several things. I kind of get the whole story of, Chad Gable was trying to figure out the best way to get rid of a luchador, how to combat against Rey Mysterio, how to get him out of the WWE. He's going about it the wrong way. You don't fight fire with fire by becoming something that you're not in terms of a luchador to kind of go against his style, because he's going to have the advantage either way. You try to do what he does, he's going to have the advantage because he has more knowledge.
He's a true wrestler. Yeah.
He should have went in the direction of somebody like a Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit was capable.
Watch what you say. Walk that line very carefully.
Chris Benoit was capable of meeting that luchador style. Look at the matches between him and Eddie Guerrero. Look at the matches between him and Rey Mysterio. If he really wanted to do something that's going to say, you know what, I can combat against a luchador style, Chris Benoit style would have been the right direction, in my opinion.
That's that opinion that got some strings to it.
But you know what? Right is right.
This is the question that I will say. People who are real wrestlers, meaning that they wrestled in high school and they wrestled collegiately or for the Olympics, I don't care who they're fighting. In a street fight, I'm going to either go for the boxer, or in the street fight, I'll go for the boxer. But also in a street fight, I wouldn't rule against the wrestler. You know what I'm saying? So against many styles of fighting, wrestlers have a better advantage. Just because they know how to manipulate certain parts of the body to be able to get position. Or to assert their dominance. So no matter whether it's professional wrestling, real wrestling, or a street fight or MMA, wrestlers do have an advantage in a lot of ways. So we're talking about the lucha style versus a wrestling style, which is Chad Gable. In my opinion, I'm a fan of the luchador style, but in my opinion, I love wrestlers. I love a good, guy who's very technical, who can get in there. Ken Shamrock was probably one of my favorite superstars growing up in the Attitude Era before Kurt Angle came along and started doing what he's doing. And of course, Brock Lesnar is one of my all-time favorite heavyweights, probably is on the Mount Rushmore, should be considered on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I would put Brock Lesnar up there. as far as wrestling is concerned. Mr. Perfect, didn't Mr. Perfect a wrestler?
I believe so.
I believe so. Bret Hart. A lot of people love Bret Hart. Bret Hart was very technical. Owen Hart is very technical as well. Who?
Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko. Yeah, the man of 1,000 hosts. Dean Malenko is a great wrestler, and I love Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn. I loved all those guys coming up. That's why Xavier Woods, I think a lot of people underestimate Xavier Woods because Xavier Woods is a real wrestler. Xavier Woods can out-wrestle probably 95% of that locker room right now. Mm-hmm. And your champion right now, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes wrestled in college. I mean, not college, in high school. Matter of fact, one of his opponents was Xavier Woods. You know what I'm saying? So I love wrestlers who transition over to professional wrestling. And so Chad Gable trying to match up with luchadors. I think that the wrestler style in professional wrestling and luchador style goes very well because it's technique versus style.
Technique versus speed.
Yeah, technique versus speed. There you go. So you got technique versus speed. In that, technique I can't say technique will always win because sometimes speed, if you're fast enough, you can prevent somebody from executing their technique. Mm-hmm. Or you can throw them off so bad that it's hard for them to execute their technique. Mm-hmm. So I think this is interesting, and the reason why we're bringing it up because although it's a lot of storylines going on in WWE, I think that this is very interesting because I want to see eventually American Made, the Chad Gable faction, go against the LWO. And I think that they're going to have some amazing matches together if they do it right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people are kind of hidden that, you know, maybe they might bring in Ray Phoenix, who is Penta's brother. Mm-hmm. And I'm waiting for that to happen because I think he will have some amazing matches, especially with some of the luchadors in WWE, i.e. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio too, because I don't think Dominic Mysterio gets that luchador title. But you got to give it to him, man. You got to give it to him, man. He got a luchador style, legendary father. He grew up in the business. I mean, other than Andrade. Andrade is a really great wrestler too. You know what I'm saying? Who has that luchador style. And I think that he's been flourishing in WWE. Now, a lot of people probably don't feel that way. A lot of people probably feel like Andrade is not really getting a lot of shine, but he's been on TV every week. You know what I'm saying? And so whether you want to admit it or not, I think a lot of people will want that spot. And I think that Andrade is definitely a representative of that lucha style. You know what I'm saying? So let us know what style that you actually like. Do you like the luchador style, or do you like the real wrestling style in professional wrestling? I think that those are probably my favorite two styles. And I think it's going to culminate into a great match with Chad Gable and maybe Rey Mysterio. I think that's what they might be going with that. If Rey Mysterio, listen to me, if Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable have a match at WrestleMania, I think that they would tear down the house. A lot of people might not agree with me, but I think that they might tear down the house if they did it. Let's go out to the Best Damn Nation, man. We got some questions. Let's go with this one. This is a good one. Hey, guys, what 3 matches were the match of the week for this week? Man, it's been a lot of wrestling happening. AEW had stuff. TNA had some stuff. NXT had some stuff. WWE, of course, had some stuff. Roosevelt, man, off the top of your head, what were your 3 best matches of the week? Matter of fact, hold on. We got something for that. Hold on.
We got something for that.
It's been so long, bro. It's been so long. We've been doing a lot of interviews, and thank you guys for checking in with us and doing checking out our interviews, man. And we got some more for you, and I'm excited to announce it. But beautiful people, prepare yourself If I can find it, prepare yourself.
It's been so long, can't even find it.
Been so long, can't even find it. But I'm gonna just do this one because this is the upset of the week. All right, so Roosevelt, here you go. This is your upsets of the week. As Roosevelt chews in the background. We're gonna do the upset of the week. I think I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna just tell you the upset of the week, and then I'm gonna let you name your top 3 matches of this week. I think the upset of this week is CM Punk versus Seth Rollins match. They had a cage match on Monday Night Raw. The match was a great match. I think, and I'm not a big CM Punk fan, but I've loved this CM Punk run that he's been having lately. And I think that he had a really good feud with a lot of people. I mean, he came in the door with, with ops. So it's good that they are lining up some good dance partners for CM Punk that makes him look good. Because CM Punk does not look that great in the ring. But he has some ring generals that he's been in the ring with that's made him look phenomenal lately, and especially with some of the cage matches. He had a great cage match a little while ago with Drew McIntyre, and this match with Seth Rollins absolutely delivered. But I think that it was spoiled by the return of Roman Reigns when he came in and did what he did to Seth Rollins and eventually CM Punk. I think that was the upset of the week because I think a lot of people wanted to see a clean finish in that match. But, you can never deny your tribal chief. You know what I'm saying? So
my thing with that is it needed to be a clean finish. I have 2 problems with that. 1, it needed to be a clean finish. 2, these 2 gentlemen have built up this rivalry and this disdain for each other so big that it needed to be more for me. And it needed to be as soon as they walked to the cage, they went right for it, right into it. But it needed to be the entire way. It was too much of, hey man, go ahead and hit me back. I'm gonna hit you back. Man, hit me. No, get in there and really go at each other. It should have been a situation where, for the first time ever, they needed to pull those 2 apart inside of a cage match.
Right.
Almost like the ref needed to just get out of the damn ring and let them guys just go for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing when you build up a storyline so big of hatred for each other, that as soon as you get in the ring, that hatred for each other looks so washed down because now you guys are working with each other.
Right.
And I always tell people all the time, if you're going to come at me like you ready to fight me and you hate me that bad, you need to know how to work a shoot. You know what I'm saying? A shoot work. You know what I'm saying? You need to know exactly how to go in there and fight like a legit, almost like a UFC type thing. And the problem with a lot of professional wrestlers is that they don't know how to fight. So they don't know how to do that shoot work style like me.
That's crazy when you say that a lot of professional wrestlers really don't know how to fight for real. You know what I'm saying? And I know that, there's been some legendary tough guys in the business that have had some interactions with people who are just professional wrestlers. They really have no fighting background at all. And I'm partial to, like I say, I love wrestlers, real wrestlers, because they can actually mess you up. If you've never seen a street fight where somebody grabs somebody and slams them, it always gets the same reaction. Oh, you know what I'm saying? In a street fight, if you know somebody is strong and they pick you up and slam you, it's very hard to come back from that. You know what I'm saying? It's very, unless you tough. If somebody's bigger and stronger than you and slams you on the ground, if you've never been slammed before, it takes a lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? You can punch somebody a lot of times in the face, but if you slam somebody just right, you can kill them. You know what I'm saying? So, I love seeing real fighters in wrestling. Like I say, I love brawlers, man. Like Kevin Owens is a brawler. I love Kevin Owens style. Seth Rollins can fight. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid of a fight or throwing real punches and real kicks to people. You know what I'm saying? So, I love scrappy guys, man. You know what I'm saying? But also I love people who have that boxing background. I love people who have that MMA background that transition over to wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead, go over to Matthew Rodriguez's question, man. Hey guys, what are the three matches that were matches of the week? In your opinion, Roosevelt, what was the match of the week? Three.
I still have to give it to Seth Rollins and CM Punk, even though it didn't give me the 100% fullness of the hatred that it really needed to have. They still went in there and got busy and showcased their talents and really showed that they were trying to one-up each other. You know what I'm saying? So I had to give it to them. The second match would have to be Ethan Page versus Javon Evans on NXT Roadblock.
Okay.
Not Roadblock, but yeah, Roadblock. Man, them boys went in there and, as Javon would say, got bouncy. Shout out to Javon Evans, and I sing his praise all the time because I'm I know him personally, but to watch him on TV and to see how easily he was able to adapt to the TV style and doing things the way he's doing it now and have such a big moment in professional wrestling now. Like, this kid is just, I don't think he's even old enough to drink. I don't think he's even old enough to drink alcohol yet. And he's out there just really getting busy. And the way that him and Ethan Page worked so strong together is in the stories that they tell in the ring and outside the ring is just amazing. And then the number one for me, and this would be a good segue to go into this match, is Obafemi versus Moose. Man, these two guys are something amazing. Like two big juggernauts, two titans going in there and just going hand in hand, blow for blow, kick for kick, taking each other's big moves, standing up and just saying, hey, that was good, but give me more. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really went in there and got busy. To see Moose just run up the ropes and then do a daggone moonsault or crossbody or whatever it is he was trying to do. But to see somebody his size do those type of movements is just amazing. And see Obafemi pick this man up over his head and yeet out the ring. I was, man, you know what? All right, you can have my cornbread. Yes, sir. You can have my cornbread.
You want my cornbread?
I had some yesterday. I don't need none today. Go ahead, take it.
You want your cornbread?
So yeah,
in the words of Big E, big sweaty men slapping me.
Yeah, slapping me.
Yeah, that's what that was. Big sweaty men slapping me. I thought that the match was a great match. I love seeing two powerhouses go at it, and this one, Obafemi is just something special, bro. Mm-hmm. And he can talk. He has the physical presence. He has the music. The fans are behind him and anything that he does. I want to see how that really transitions when he goes over to main roster. Same thing with Trick Williams. I want to see how that transitions to when they go over to the main roster. Right now, we see Carmelo Hayes is over on main roster. He's been having some. Let's not get it twisted. Carmelo Hayes has been wrestling some absolute studs in the game. So I can't take nothing away from Carmelo Hayes, even though he hasn't been at the top of the card. Now with him getting with the mids, I love what they call it, Melodon mids. That sounds disgusting. That sounds disgusting. But I like the name and I love the Miz and Carmelo together. I think that they make a really good pair. It's like an odd couple pairing, but I think that the Miz mentorship, if Carmelo is really listening, I think the Miz's mentorship can be very powerful for Carmelo to transition inside the ring and outside of the ring, because the Miz does have that experience doing things outside of the ring, like acting and things like that. So I actually like that pairing of Melo Don't Miz. But to see how some of the talent, especially the African American male talent, is treated and how they transition from NXT to main roster is always interesting. So I can't wait to see how Obafemi does. But he has all the tools, man, to be an absolute stud. And if he, to be honest with you, I don't see nobody in NXT taking that bet off him. You know what I'm saying?
It has to be like a multi-man situation. It ain't gonna be no one-on-one.
It has to be like a triple threat, or like you said, a multi-man where somebody, pins somebody else and takes it off of them. But I don't see nobody beating Obafemi clean. Then he would have to get distracted. It's going to have to be multiple individuals. I don't see it. And actually, a lot of people slept on that match between Obafemi and A-Town Down Under with Grayson Waller and
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory. That match was really good, and I think it shows a good storytelling, but it also shows the power that Obafemi has, man. And so that match with Obafemi versus Moose, if you had opportunity to go check it out and watch it. It's a great match. Big sweaty men slapping meat. If you like to watch it, watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick before we bring on our cohort, the good thing I like about the Miz, what is it?
Miz, yeah.
Is the funny thing is Miz being in the mentorship position. Like when you think about when he first came to WWE and how he was just so hated and no one wanted to help him, no one wanted to rock with him because he was such a hardhead and just running his mouth. I thought he was just larger than life superstar and hasn't even done anything except for Real World and all other, stupid reality shows and competitions. And now to see him in a position to help the younger guys to, become superstars is an amazing thing.
Yeah, I love to see it, man. I love to see Miz in that position, man. And hopefully, Melo Dome Miz actually becomes successful and they actually do something with that, man. That'll be interesting. Well, beautiful people, it's getting tasty in here. We got to bring in the chef of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, the one and only Chef Showtime. What's happening, man?
How are you guys doing?
Oh,
so
man,
how you feeling?
He had the R&B sexy pose. You know what I'm saying? They come and get me now.
For some reason, my camera keeps freezing. That's just funny.
That's all good, Chef, man. We was talking about.
How are you guys doing today?
We good, man. Talking about some of these matches, man. We were just talking about Obafemi versus Moose from TNA and how good the actual match was, man. Have you had the opportunity to check out Obafemi at all, Chef?
I've watched them before, but I didn't watch the Moose versus Obafemi match. I did not watch that one.
All right, just like the Best Damn Nation, man. Y'all go back and check that out. But I think that Obafemi is going to be that star. And if you don't know who Obafemi is or what his wrestling style is, and I always give this comparison, and I see that Wakanda Forever Black Panther shirt that Roosevelt have on. If you want to compare what Obafemi's style is, just think of M'Baku, right? If M'Baku was wrestling. If M'Baku had dreads and he was wrestling, that's who Obafemi would be. You know what I'm saying? And then Moose, man, I think that Moose doesn't get the credit that he deserves. He has been holding down the TNA brand for so long. And I think that him coming over to WWE, even though he mentioned that he didn't want to come to WWE at some point, I think that he was happy that he's there now. You know what I'm saying? When wrestlers say they don't want to make it to the WWE, they don't want to go. I'm like, why are you lying?
Why you always lying?
Why you always lying? Yeah, why are you lying, bro? Like, yeah, it's like that. It doesn't make sense. I think that ultimately everybody's goal when you in the wrestling business is to make it to the top. Now the top looks different now. because they're, I think a lot of indie wrestlers are happy that they're at the top of the promotions that they run, especially if they have a lot going on and they're getting paid and they're actually making a career off of them wrestling. That can be very satisfying, just like being at the top or being signed to a big company. Some people can be happy working with multiple companies and getting paid with multiple companies and getting able to travel and still have flexibilities to be with their family versus being signed to a big company and might not wrestle as much, might not be on TV, might struggle to try to get, saying your character across. And we see it a lot, especially with AEW. This is what I do love about AEW. They have no qualms about bringing in indie wrestlers. And they really like to showcase indie wrestlers. So, for a lot of independent wrestlers, even yourself, Roosevelt, you had the opportunity to be on AEW programming, man, to show what you can do. And so I think that from that aspect of showing different indie wrestlers and what's out there and who's talented, it gives the wrestling fans an opportunity to check out a little bit of how the indie scene is and the talent that's coming from that. And it also gives the indie wrestlers that little nudge to be like, all right, I've been on AEW TV, man. Now you can pay me a little bit more for my bookings. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, man, you always get that little boost. You know what I mean? But shout out to, and actually, I got to make it now. AEW Double or Nothing is actually coming here to Phoenix. And so I'm going to try to go. We're going to see. Hopefully I can get my little media pass and I can be in there asking Tony to ask some questions. You know what I'm saying? Hold up, Tony, I got some questions.
One of the biggest things about this match with Obafemi and Moose is the crossover. The crossover of two major companies with WWE and TNA. And it got me thinking about the crossover of companies in the past, presently, and what we could possibly see in the future. One of the biggest ones is like WWE and WCW. A lot of people talked about the invasion, but it's more so of like a crossover. And if you think about it, a lot of other talent went from either WCW to WWE and vice versa, left WWE and went to WCW.
Let's talk about that period real quick. Now, I didn't mean to cut you off because that period of time was probably one of my favorite periods of wrestling because it was so exciting to see WCW and ECW kind of bleed into WWE, and people started choosing sides. Now, that was the interesting part because we saw the emergence of a lot of stars, man, like, from WCW, that's where we got Booker T. And we got Goldberg and
Chris Jericho
and DDP, Big Papa Pump. I mean, it's just a lot of WCW stars came to WWE, and they had a hard time trying to get their footing to figure out where they fit in the new business. One of my favorite interactions, and it was a sink or swim moment. But when Booker T had to face with The Rock for the first time. And to me, that was my first time seeing two main event men of color going against each other. And everybody at that time wanted to see that. A lot of people said that Booker T took some moves from The Rock or whatever the case may be. And Booker T kind of claimed his fame to some of the bookend and the rock bottom are very similar moves. And I think that Booker T is probably one of my all-time. And there was a list put out. I don't know if it was from BET. Did you see it? Mm-mm. It was a list of the top, I think it was top 10 or top 7 black superstars of all time.
Oh, wow.
From BET. I got to find that list. I don't know who made that list. They were missing a couple of people off that. I think
I was number 6.
No, you were like number. If the list was 10, you was up there, but
okay,
you weren't in the top 10.
Long time up there.
You was up there though. Hey Chef, see if you can find that for me. That list, that BET list of the top 10 black wrestlers of all time. At number 1, they put Booker T. Number 2, they put The Rock. You know what I'm saying? That was interesting to me that they would actually put Booker T over The Rock. But when it comes to wrestling, technically, just wrestling, without the final ball stuff, I think that Booker T had the better wrestling career.
Yeah, longer too.
He had more longevity. He had more success in the ring. He has just as much cultural influence as The Rock when it comes to wrestling. Maybe I'm wrong. That's them next year. Tell me if I'm wrong. Y'all love to tell me when I'm wrong. Y'all love, So if I'm wrong, then let it be known. But in the ring wrestling career, I think that Booker T had a more successful.
He had the longevity. He had the
longevity in the ring. Now, ultimately,
if The Rock didn't leave and go to Hollywood, The Rock would have probably surpassed Booker T. But then still, it probably would have been neck and neck because Booker T also has his own company. He has a school, and he brings in other talent. So that kind of gives him that little bit extra because not only he's working on WWE TV, but he's also working on his own local TV as well. So,
right.
Yeah, anything could have been awesome.
Success is success. You know what I'm saying? We're not comparing apples and oranges because I'm happy to see the success of these two black men, and as a wrestling fan, to see other men of color succeed. And I love to see everybody. Yes, I don't want nobody to call reverse racism. I'm just saying, as for me, seeing those figures on TV, men of color, was very interesting to me at that time because growing up as a wrestling fan, man, it was hard. We had to fight for respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were a wrestling fan, you had to fight for every ounce of what you doing. I'm watching Monday Night Raw. You watch that fake stuff.
Right.
Yes, I do.
Right.
You watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dragon Ball Z, you leave me alone.
hey, don't talk bad about Dragon Ball Z.
I ain't talking bad. I'm just saying, it's not real. But in general, if Goku is real, we in trouble. But anyway, man, just I think that the Rock and Booker T, man, both had great careers. Chef, were you able to find that list for me?
It's changed. There's not all black people on there no more.
What list did you find?
BET Greatest of All Times, and they have. What's going on? Number 1, Michael Phelps. Number 2, Usain Bolt. Number 3, Wayne Gretzky. Number 4. Yeah, it changed.
So it's not top.
I'm just looking at the different ones.
That's athletes of all time. Okay.
I know.
Hold up. BET put Michael Phelps as the greatest athlete of all time? Well, let's keep it real. BET is owned by Viacom, and BET is not a black-owned company. I hate to burst people's bubble, but the same channel that you watch reruns the Tyler Perry movies and Martin is not black-owned at all. They don't care about the interests of black people at all. So I hate to be saying, but as far as athletes, I mean, it could be argued that Michael Phelps is arguably one of the greatest professional athletes of all time. I give you that. Now we talk about wrestlers, you know what I'm saying? So if you can find that list, then great. But I think that Booker T and The Rock being number 1 and number 2 as far as the greatest of all time. Also, shout out to the females. I think Bianca Belair made that list. I think she was like number 6 or number 7. Jazz made that list as well. And we're just talking about our influences growing up. I love seeing people of color in wrestling, and I love the way that wrestling looks now. It's very reminiscent and reflective of how America lives. You know what I'm saying? So you have different people of different races that are now getting into wrestling from different backgrounds and different sports backgrounds. So I love to see it, man. I love to see athletes of all races, creeds, and colors get in the ring and actually, you know, shape it up. Let me ask you, Roosevelt. You've been a lot of places wrestling, man. Which area do you think has the most talented wrestlers? You've been to Germany, you've been over the UK, you've been here in America, all over the country. You've wrestled everybody from Billy Gunn on down to your local Joe Schmo. You know what I'm saying? So which area that you've been to do you feel has some of the most talented wrestlers on the indie scene or just professional wrestlers in general? Which area do you think? I'm gonna make it even better. We're gonna do a wrestling civil war. And you gotta pick your state that you're going with and the wrestlers in that state versus everybody else. And it can be legends, it can be independent wrestlers. That's a difficult question right there.
It has to be a state. It can't be a region.
It can be a region.
Because if it's a region, I would have to say like the southeast, almost into like the Midwest. So I would say like from Texas on back to North Carolina.
That's a big ass region, bro. That's half the United States. All right, so you got to go out.
If I had to narrow it down to a state, then there had to be, and I really hate to say it, North Carolina, because it's so much talent here that has been either picked up or has traveled other places, and you hear from a lot of legends and a lot of vets that say, man, North Carolina is the state where you go and get the talent from. It's been the wrestling state for a very long time. Between here and Tennessee, it's been the top two, and then you also have like Georgia and Florida. It's been the staples of professional wrestling. And then once they started venturing off into Texas, and then started moving on from there. But those are like the top ones that when you think about professional wrestling, a lot of the talent came from. A lot of the came from. You had Texas, where you had like Shawn Michaels, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Booker T, Undertaker, Bob Orton, you know, all those different guys. And then you think about Georgia, you know, you got a bunch of people from there. North Carolina, you got Ric Flair. You know, Florida, you have where WWE's Performance Center is. Like, they have their whole entire office in Connecticut, but they did their school and their teachings down in Florida. Like, their base is in Florida. So, you know, it has to be, you know, those states that you have to consider first in terms of professional wrestling, who would actually go out there and can stand toe-to-toe with anybody else from any other region, state, province, country, your mama's house, your cousin's backyard, whatever.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that, and you're right, I think that the Southeast definitely.
I found the list.
All right, cool. All right, so here we go. BET's top black wrestlers of all time. Go ahead. Number 10. Chill.
Did we lose him?
All right. For number 1, they got Booker T. For number 2, they have The Rock. Number 3, Kofi Kingston. Number 4, Mark Henry. Number 5, Sasha Banks. Number 6, Junkyard Dog. Number 7, Ron Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, Bobby Lashley. Number 9, Bianca Belair. Number 10, is Devon Dudley. And they have for number 11, Big E, 12, Jacqueline, 13, Naomi, 14, Shelton Benjamin, and 15, Jazz.
That list is kind of hard for me. I can't see Sasha Banks being higher than Ron Simmons. Cut it out. I'm sorry. Cut it out. Not Uncle Ron. Nah. Damn.
This is what I will say about Sasha. I think that with Sasha Banks, her timing really ushered in a new era of wrestling for women. And whether people want to give her the credit or not, I think that Sasha Banks, on a marketing standpoint, has had more influence than Ron Simmons. Hear me out. Hear me out. To this new generation of wrestlers, because they actually got an opportunity to see the evolution of the wrestling business with the four horsewomen at the helm of that. And Sasha Banks being a woman of color and Bayley being a woman of color. A lot of people think Bayley's white, she's not. Both of them being women of color. I think that it really ushered in a new wave of women getting into wrestling. Now we have this huge flood door of women that's getting into wrestling of all creeds and color. And I think that Sasha Banks absolutely helped usher in a new era of wrestling for women. Now, what Brian Simmons did, he did the same thing for people. You know what I'm saying? So
we wouldn't have no Sasha Banks if it wasn't for no Ron Simmons.
He would not have Sasha Banks if it was not for Ron Simmons.
Look, Ron Simmons had to bump in order for her to run the ropes. Okay,
there you go. There you go. So I'm not negating the list, even though it's very questionable. You can interchange a lot of people. I mean, you got Coco Beware that could possibly be on this list. You got Soul Man, Rocky Johnson that can possibly be on this list as one of the first Black nationally televised tag team champions with Tony Atlas, and that that influence alone was great. Who else was
D'Lo Brown?
D'Lo was D'Lo Brown on this list, Chef?
Hell no. Nope. I don't know why they got Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin was huge in the 2000s, man. I mean, multiple time champion, tag team champion, intercontinental champion. Who?
We had Cisco Wrestling. That's what we had.
Yes, Cisco.
He called Shelton Benjamin Cisco.
Oh, Cisco. That's actually funny.
You know who needs to be talked about, and we don't even mention him ourselves, and we probably should be ashamed of ourselves. Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil, even though he didn't do very much in wrestling, he does a lot beyond the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's had really good moments. He's been tag team champion. He may not have won any singles titles, but he's been a multi-time tag team champion. He's done a lot for the community outside of professional wrestling. And as far as I know, he's still with WWE doing a lot of big things. So I really think Titus O'Neil is overdue for his flowers.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Titus O'Neil definitely is overdue for his flowers, and he deserves respect because the community work, honestly, he's doing a lot of community work just like John Cena has been doing over the years, man. And Titus O'Neil has been an advocate for the Boys and Girls Club and a lot of different educational programs and things for the youth of the community, especially within the city of Tampa, Orlando, down in Florida, and he has been an ambassador for the WWE for some time. I know a lot of people remember him from sliding under the Royal Rumble ring during his injury. But yeah, but you're right. He is a multiple time tag team champion, and he has been a strong force on the WWE community development side for so long. So I think that Titus O'Neil absolutely should be on the list of some of the greatest superstars of all time. If you're counting what he does outside of the ring, or just for the company WWE in general, man, I think that he absolutely should be on that list. The Godfather can easily be on that list, man, because I was a Godfather fan even before he was a Godfather. Kamala and Papa Shango. Did I say Kamala? I'm sorry. It was not Kamala. Papa Shango. What was his name?
Quang.
No, when he was in the Nation of Domination.
Oh.
So with a K. I can't remember. Anyway, something. Anyway, the Godfather definitely could be on the list of greatest black wrestlers of all time. Also, we talked about it before. Awesome Kong, as far as female wrestlers, Awesome Kong has done a lot in general for wrestling, man, and even with her role on the Netflix show Glow. You know, she was a great actress in the season Glow. If you haven't seen Glow, go to Netflix, type in Glow. It's Glorious Women of Wrestling. It told a period of time when there was this company that was all female wrestling promotion, and they were trying to get it over. And it's a great series, man. Go watch it. It's awesome. What other black wrestlers are we missing that can be on this list? That's Damnation. Let us know. I'm trying to think. And female wise, yeah, female wise, Naomi. You would definitely give it to Naomi. Sasha Banks, Jazz, Jacqueline. Alicia Fox, man, and although a lot of people didn't really connect with her crazy ass, Alicia Fox has been holding it down during the Divas period for some time, man, and I think that she was great in the ring. She had some very memorable moments. A lot of people remember her for her crazy antics, and she's still around doing stuff. I don't know if she's wrestling, but she's still around. But yeah, Alicia Fox, man. Who? Who you say, Chef?
Tamina Snuka.
Tamina Snuka. Yeah.
Tamina.
Yeah. Ain't nobody meaner than Tamina. Yeah, I give Tamina. You know, I categorize. I don't know. I don't know if they categorize themselves as or identifying as black, but you know, Tamina, she got some. You know, I put Tamina in there.
Yeah,
I put Tamina in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll put Tamina in there.
Sharmell. What about
Sharmell? Sharmell also. That can, she has had a lot of influence on, especially Booker T. You can arguably say that there wouldn't be a King Booker without a Sharmell. I don't think the character would have worked as well if it wasn't for Sharmell. See how that rhyme right there?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to all the wrestlers of color, and I think that these wrestlers that's on this list, man, absolutely have influenced this new generation of wrestlers. No matter what color they are, I think that they have had influence and they have entertained the masses. And shout out to everybody on this list. Now, people have some questions about the order, you know what I'm saying? But, arguably, it's kind of hard to, disagree with the list.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, the order might be something. That's one thing. But you know, the list, I think this is a pretty solid list from uh BT MTV
Yeah.
Viacom.
And then going back to the crossover companies, and we just discussed WWE, WCW, and ECW. Some other crossovers that we've had in the past that has given us some really good talent from these crossovers is Ring of Honor and New Japan. You have a lot of guys that are on AEW right now that's been on Lucha Underground and is part of WWE right now, like Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, the Good Brothers when they were there. Ricochet, who has been out there doing some really amazing things and has had the opportunity to come back to the States and be a bigger name because they've had the opportunity to go over to New Japan with those crossovers between New Japan and Ring of Honor. Right now, we have AEW and Ring of Honor as a crossover, but it's one whole company, but they wouldn't be where they are now had they not crossed over and done something together. And then we also have WWE and TNA, which is doing really, really good for TNA mostly. You know what I'm saying? Like WWE has been getting really good feedback from this crossover with them and this what is it, like this connection that they have with TNA and working together. But it's been doing really good for TNA, who was really close to going to the wayside. And from what I'm hearing sources of, WWE bringing in Lucha Underground, bringing that back, which will be very, very interesting. So the future is looking really, really bright for a lot more crossovers in the near future. And then we have Evolve coming back, which is an independent wrestling company that is now part of WWE. So things are going to look really, really interesting in the very, very near future.
Yeah, I wanna shout out Evolve, man. I actually checked it out the other night on Tubi. I believe it's on Tubi.
Yes.
Um,
Which is crazy. Which is crazy because a lot of people talk so much trash about Tubi. I got a movie on Tubi, and WWE's on Tubi right now. So, suck it, okay? Now, how you feel?
yeah, go check out Roosevelt's Tubi movie. Which one is it? It's the My Brother's Turmoil.
Yes, a brother's turmoil.
Yeah, go check that out and see Roosevelt's acting. We had hair. We had he had Cora. But yeah. Go check out that movie. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. You know what I'm saying? I give it 2 Tubi thumbs. Yeah, 2 Tubi thumbs up. Yeah. But yeah, the Evolve series happened, and I think that they have some really good talent on there. One of the guys that I noticed that I think that he could be a star if he's used on the NXT is this guy called Cappuccino Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean his branding is great. You know what I'm saying? From the name to some of the moves that he has and you know what he's named the moves. It as a first time watcher and me seeing this guy, I'm like, oh, he can be a star. You know what I'm saying? He got all the tools that he needs. You know what I'm saying? Chef is having some difficulty. Shout out to Chef, man. We'll check you out if you come back on. But yeah, man, Cappuccino Jones, man, is poised to be a star. Now I like what I see in Cappuccino Jones. Also, your boy Jackson Drake was on there with this group called Swipe Right.
Yes.
You know, it was
interesting tag team. Interesting, but the concept sticks with you. Like you think about, oh man, that's really dope.
Yeah, it is. But you know,
Cartwheel and Sean Legacy also 2 amazing talents as well.
yeah, absolutely. So if you haven't had the opportunity, you want to check out some new talent, man. Check out Evolve. I think that they just made Eva the general manager of Evolve, and I'm not sure if they're going to make that into an actual TV show, just like NXT. But if they did, I think it'll be good. And it's good because that's a crossover show because it's bringing NXT stars down to Evolve. So that's like I think Evolve is really the developmental, and then NXT is it's always been its own brand to me.
Mm-hmm.
But NXT is now its own brand alongside SmackDown and Raw. And to be honest with you, a lot of times NXT has a lot of matches that are better than the main programs matches. Like matches at NXT are just so good, man. And it makes you turn into a fan again, even if you don't know who these people are. You watching some of these matches, and it's great. And I see a lot of the people from AEW that's came over that's killing them right now. Right now, Sean Spears is the North American champion. He's doing a great thing. Just mentioned your boy Ethan Page. He's actually killing it in NXT right now, man. I love seeing what Ethan Page can do. He's one of the few mouthpieces that AEW has. So, I think that he's going to do really well in the future, man. And then, like you say, you have the TNA crossover where I think the WWE is definitely getting the better end of the stick. When it, I think they're almost poaching talent. You know what I'm saying? Where they just signed Jordan Grace over, which she was a huge star for TNA. And I think TNA is definitely going to miss her. But they got other stars, that can fill the void. But Jordan Grace, man, I think that she is a star. And so WWE definitely won with that one. And then this whole Moose versus Obafemi was good. Moose might make that transition up. We also saw the Hardy Boys come back to NXT to just a room full of love for the Hardy Boys, man. And it's hard to negate the fact that the Hardy Boys definitely has had a lot of influence on people throughout the years, man. And I know I'm happy to see them back in the WWE where I think they belong. And honestly, they kind of beat up. They kind of on the inside of things. So it's good to see them come back to be able to compete, show the younger guys some things. Hopefully, they're able to do some more great things before their careers actually end. But it's great to see the Hardy Boys, North Carolina's own Hardy Boys, back in action on the WWE brand. I take my hat off to the Hardy Boys.
Real quick, let's run through these last couple of things. Next would be Naomi's confession, and like I said, this is a short thing because it should have went
my confession.
It should have went with my idea. It would have been a lot more, to the story that you could have really pushed a long way. But I'm really interested to see exactly what they're going to do with this entire situation with Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill. She went out there and told Bianca, "Look, you ungrateful bitch." And she turned around and looked at her like, "Who are you talking to?" And Jade came out and was like, "Yo, don't even worry about it. I got it." And she beat the brakes off of Naomi. Naomi was like, "I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't mean it.
I gotta go back. I'm a show. My mom's here. I'm happy. Mom Renegade's in that. And
What's up, Renegade?
she tries to watch wrestling every once in a while. But I'm gonna show her that because she likes stories. Like as the world turns, what's another one? The Young and the Restless. She loved all that. I'm gonna show her that feud to see if she actually what she say about it. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you guys know. You know what I'm saying? To a non-wrestling lover, to see a good storyline that got action and drama in it, how can you not love it? You know what I'm saying? How can you not love that? So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead back and show her that. But I'm 100% invested into this feud now. Mm-hmm. I think that number one, for them to have this storyline is big. And I don't think that they realize how big it actually is yet. You know what I'm saying? And they can absolutely grow it to something even bigger. Because I think that Bianca Belair is a great actress. I can't wait to see when she transitions over to Hollywood, if she decides to transition over to Hollywood. I think that she's going to be great. And then ultimately, when Jade gets her footing strong and settled in WWE and starts making that crossover as well, I think that'll be good. Ultimately, I think that the woman that had the best crossover success when it comes to Hollywood, WWE movies, in and even MMA is Ronda Rousey, and I don't think she gets enough credit for that. Because Ronda was really able to transition to Hollywood really well after she came through the UFC, and even when she joined the WWE, she had some opportunities, and I think that she was probably she might be the greatest woman turned actor for women.
Fighter turned actress.
Yeah, fighter turned actress.
I think she's the only fighter turned actress.
Yeah, I don't. Well, yeah, I don't. Yeah,
She's the only. I think some actresses
Tony
may.
Storm just had. Tony Storm just got. She got the new movie that's out. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's a new movie that's out with Tony Storm. Yeah, what was it again?
Queen of the Ring.
Queen of the Ring. Yeah, Queen of the Ring. I'm really trying to think who has really acted. The women that have acted. Sasha Banks. She did some stuff. She did.
She didn't do
Anakin. She did a Star Wars cameo, but I don't know. She didn't really have no lines in it. She really did that.
The only one that's done something major is Ronda Rousey. She was in The Expendables. She was in Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's it.
Now, she had a couple more movies, like one or two more. I don't know. I can't remember what it is. But when you think about women, as far as who are the women, the greatest wrestlers and fighters turned actors, I think you would have to put Ronda Rousey at the top of that category for the women. I don't know if anybody else has even transitioned yet. Becky Lynch, she did some acting in Young Rock, where she played Cyndi Lauper. But she ain't really had no other roles yet. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the Queen Charlotte Flair, she actually focused on acting. I think that she would be a really great actress.
Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss would be
Alexa Bliss as well too.
If we took Nikki Cross and put her in a horror movie, forget about it. Nikki Cross would do really good in a horror movie.
As the crazy girlfriend or something.
As the monster.
Psycho killer.
She would be like the girl from The Ring or something to that extent. She could really, or The Grudge. She could do one of those.
I would say when it comes to the WWE, I think that Nikki Cross has had the most extreme range of character for a woman. Going from the deranged Nikki Cross to the crazy, giddy best friend, and then turned it to the superhero.
Almost a superhero.
And then the superhero turned bad guy. And then from that to what we have, she went real crazy to what we have now, which she's a member of the Wyatt Six, the brainchild of Bray Wyatt. And she had this dark, demented, almost like the Ring character for that. I think she's Abby the Witch or whatever the king. I don't know which one she is. Sister Abigail, she one of them. But either way, they haven't been on. To LP's point, and LP made this point a couple months ago. They haven't done anything with Y6 since they've been back. And I think that they are a group of wrestlers who can wrestle, but they're not a group of wrestlers that can talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to say that they can't talk at all, but you have Eric Redbeard, who really doesn't say anything, hasn't said much in WWE.
Joe Gacy can talk.
Joe Gacy can talk, and I'm not sure why they're not letting Joe Gacy take the reins. I think that Joe Gacy could absolutely be a better.
I think it's because of the character. I think it's because of the character. The character's not really a leader character. However, Porky, I mean, whatever the pig name was, and that's who he's portraying, he had have a lot to say when Bray Wyatt was doing the Playhouse. So I don't know why they don't just want to give these guys mics and let them do whatever the character used to do, the puppets or whatever. Let them do whatever they were doing. Like, let's get back to, if you're going to do the Wyatt 6, let's get back to when we were doing the Playhouse with Bray Wyatt. Let's get back to that and kind of start doing some, hey, man, this look a little kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they took the fun.
Yeah.
They took the fun out of the characters.
Booker T got really, really scared when the Fiend first came out, and all you hear in the background is, no, I'm not with this. I'm not with this. Like, that's all you heard in the background when he was doing that. Let's get back to that. Let's make these people really look like fiendish type characters.
I'll tell you this. The scariest individuals are the ones who look and seem unassuming, but are very dark and evil and do very, very bad things.
But have you seen the movie The Strangers?
I haven't seen it, but I think I've seen a cover for it. Movie cover.
It was a group of people who's going around killing people, and they went to this one house and they had this little mask on. And it was almost like one of those Japanese, young child masks. And they went to this one house and they went in there and it was like, why are you doing this to us? And they said, because you were home. And that was it. Like, could you imagine doing that in a wrestling promo? Like, why are you torturing? Why are you following me? Because you were here. That's it. I'm only doing it because I saw you. Had I not seen you, you'd be okay.
Ooh, I got something even better. I chose you.
Yeah.
You will be my sacrifice. Ooh, that's dark. Anyway, I think that the Wyatt 6, they can definitely be redeemed if there is a comedy element to it or a softer element that has dark undertones, and then you bring out the whole group in force whenever something is about to happen. I think that there's absolutely a way to do it. I think that Uncle Howdy character does nothing. Nobody really liked Uncle Howdy ever since he came out. And they haven't been doing a great job with it with Bo Dallas, and that mask that Bo Dallas has on is horrible. He might as well just like not wear the mask, bro. Just wear the hat and the get up and then become the character instead of like having that mask on that makes no sense. Nobody knows what Uncle Howdy is or what he does or how he did. Like, it's too much explanation to wrestling fans. There's too much explanation to non-wrestling fans of who the character is.
Where it's got to a point where it's no longer necessary and it makes no more sense because there's no more Fiend and there's no more Bray Wyatt. You know
but we did mention something though. If they let the two mouthpieces in the group, hold up, there's 3 ways that you can save the Bray Wyatt. I mean, it's 3 ways that you can save the Wyatt 6. Number 1, you can let Joe Gacy talk. You can make Joe Gacy the lead of the group somehow. And number 2, you can take all the mask and all that off of Bo Dallas and let Bo Dallas become the new character that Bray Wyatt was when you're doing the Firefly Funhouse. I think that he can do it, but they're not letting him do it. So they need to bring back the Firefly Funhouse, let Uncle Howdy or him take over. And the last thing that they can do to save the Wyatt 6 is put Alexa Bliss as the leader of the group.
Exactly.
And I think that's what they're leaning to, because I've seen like every time Alexa is out, they do the little switching of the screen or whatever. Let Alexa Bliss become the leader of the Wyatt 6. That's the only way that you really, truthfully, that's the only real way that you're going to be able to save that, because Alexa Bliss is a superstar at home, right? She has very close ties to Bray Wyatt. It makes it easier for them to do the Firefly Funhouse. Alexa Bliss could put hits on everybody in men and women and have ultimate power there. that's where and how you save that group. Put Lexa Bliss at the forefront and just let her just start attacking people, men and women. Her and Nikki Cross can really take over the women's division with that mystical stuff if they want to. And then the men are strong enough that they can carry on storylines and have feuds on Monday Night Raw or even NXT and really do something that's very interesting. But for some reason, I'm not sure if they let the horror writer that they have for WWE just focus on the horror aspect of it and not the aspect that a lot of people got behind, which was the humor and the colorfulness and the duality and the character of Bray Wyatt and The Fiend.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
and I think their biggest issue is that they came in too hard, too fast. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole.
That's what you see. Sorry, go ahead.
Everybody, you had dead bodies over here and bodies laid out over here, and the entire, gorilla position was all destroyed. And after that was like going down.
Yeah, there's nothing after that.
His credit, he's right, and the Y6 has been going downhill ever since that. So I don't know. We'll see.
But the group doesn't have to. And then it's enough room for that faction to really do something and thrive, especially with the writers that they have, especially with the talent that the group has, and especially with the talent that's on the roster, man. You absolutely can do something. Take that ugly mask off of Bo Dallas. Let Bo Dallas get to a deeper, darker character, and then let Alexa Bliss take control of the YS6, and then let Joe Gacy talk a little bit, and boom, that group can be revived. Mm-hmm. But if you don't do that, then they will suffer and just die off and won't nobody care about it. And that'll be a waste of rollout. That'll be a waste of money. And then after that, where do these individual characters go? They're going to get released because they ain't got nothing going on and they're not going to push them. Mm-hmm. That's just honest. You know what I'm saying? So it's a way that you revive the YS6, and the way that you do it is putting Alexa Bliss at the forefront of the group or letting Joe Gacy talk. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to do it. You know what I'm saying? What else we got on the list, Roosevelt?
We got two more things, and then we can let the people go to bed. We got John Cena returning this Friday. Punk ass John Cena returning this Friday on SmackDown. And Cody Rhodes is going to be in the building. So it's going to be interesting to see what this interaction is going to look like. What kind of John Cena we're going to get. Hopefully he's not going to try to come out and be on hustle, loyalty, respect, and don't give up and all that other bullshit. We need John Cena in a suit. Like I said before, and I'm keep saying it until we get it, we need Jacob Toretto. Okay? That's what we need. And with this John Cena, if we got the final boss wrong, The Rock, with everything he's got going on, looking like Hobbs, we need Jacob Toretto. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think that the Peacemaker, Jacob Toretto character of John Cena, that darker version of John Cena is definitely needed, man. And I think that you're right. If John Cena wore a suit, that would make his character different. I think if John Cena came in and just wore all black, you know what I'm saying? That'll be something that, a whole character change right there. You're right. You do need that version of John Cena.
John Cena, we know that you're watching because everybody watches the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast.
Damn right.
Answer my challenge, punk. Answer my challenge. And then listen to us what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, this could help your career in terms of finalizing your entire package and bringing everything full circle. If you want the fans to really get behind what you're trying to do, listen to us because we're fans of what we watch. We know what we're talking about.
We know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think somebody looks really menacing for me to kick their ass, and you're on next on the list. So
there you go. You're on that list of ass kickings. Yes. Needs to happen this year. Yeah, straight up. I think that I love where this is going, and I think that this might be one of the more memorable WrestleManias when it comes to I think last year was just the storytelling of last year was just amazing, bro. And it's just like now you have lightning in a bottle with Jey Uso and the Yeet movement. This feels like the Yes movement. This also feels like Kofi Mania. This feels like Cody Mania. It feels the same way. And I think that WWE has a good formula in really taking something that's random, that just randomly happened where the fans get behind it. And then all of a sudden, once the company gets behind it, they start pushing that aspect and building excitement. And I think that they're doing a great job with Jey Uso. Now, a lot of people are, trying to see what a Jey Uso title run would look like. A lot of yeets, a lot of short lines. I don't know. We'll see. But let me say this, because I'm glad I mentioned Jey Uso. Let me say this. I want justice for Jimmy Uso.
Why?
I want justice for Jimmy Uso because I don't think that Jimmy Uso has had real opportunity. I can't say that. He's had a lot of opportunities.
He's had opportunities.
Yeah, I was about to say something, but Jimmy Uso has had a lot of opportunities. Number one, to be a singles competitor, but also against some really like strong people. Like he had a feud with John Cena. It don't get no bigger than that. Even though it wasn't, it was short lived, but an extension of what the bloodline that was doing to John Cena. But it was a small period of time where Jimmy Uso was against John Cena. And then Jimmy Uso is still trying to find his footing of where he is. I will say this. If Jimmy Uso was given the opportunity to hold a title, I think that Jimmy Uso would be a very, very entertaining champion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Jimmy Uso do need to make a couple of tweaks. Maybe he need to change his music. He definitely need a new finisher.
He needs his own personality.
But Jimmy Uso got personality out the wazoo. Jimmy always makes you laugh.
He does. And I think he needs to really tap into that. I think he's still trying to sit back, and it's making the people, especially when I see him, it's still making me connect him with Jey.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jey has the yeet. That's his. Just no yeet. It's like
even though Jimmy might have kind of started doing the yeet stuff first. Jey kind of
who took off with it though? You know what I mean? Who took off with it, and it's just like you still trying to hold on to it. Like let that go, let that slide on to your brother. Let him have it.
Yeah, that no yeet ain't working. I think you should go on full force and just start using the yeet too. Why not? I know I know because he wanted to be separate from his brother and stand on his own 2 feet.
Yeah,
I know that's why. That's why he do the no yeet. That it's not really catching on. And people don't even know what the yeet means. So no yeet. I don't know what that means. But I absolutely think that Jimmy Uso, if given the opportunity, number one, I think it's a couple things he needs to do. Number one, he needs to change. He needs a finisher. He needs another finisher. He needs a very defining finisher. I think that he needs to lean more into his comedy and that attitude. A good balance between angry, badass, big Jim, and then that comedic portion that kind of blend them together. How like Heel Rock was back in the early 2000s. I was
getting ready to say. That's what I was. He needs to be Rock of old.
He 2000. Yeah,
he can do it very easily. He could be that guy to come out and cut a promo on you and make the crowd laugh the entire time while he's talking shit to you.
I always thought that Jimmy Uso was going to break out before Jey, and it just happened the other way. And maybe it was for the best because now Jay has a platform, but Jimmy has just as much, if not more, talent, and can actually really talk on the microphone. Now, if I'm comparing Jimmy and Jay, Jimmy is much better on the microphone than Jay is. You know what I'm saying? But Jay makes you feel, and I think that's the thing that is the difference between Jimmy and Jay when it comes to the wrestling. Jay makes you feel everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that cannot be taught. You can't teach that. You know
Emotion.
what I'm saying?
We say it all the time. Emotion over emotion. Every time.
Yeah, yeah. Emotion. Jay make you feel. So when Jay was in the bloodline, and he was the let me get him, the right hand man. He made you feel. He made you feel like, oh, okay, yeah, we the baddest on the planet. Yeah, this is family right here. I'm riding with family. Like it made you feel good. He made you feel something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And even now, Jay makes you feel. And I think that's the only thing that Jimmy is missing that connects him with the crowd, where he's making the crowd feel. And I think that he was able to do it when he broke away from Roman Reigns and he kicked Roman Reigns in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I think that period was Jimmy Uso's shining moment. And it was so powerful that if you haven't, and I would go back and just watch that whole bloodline storyline from especially that middle part when Jade was breaking off from the bloodline, and then Jimmy broke off from the bloodline, and then for some reason Jimmy went back, and then I don't know, it was just weird. Well, the reason why he went back, and they didn't write that part well, but that part where Jimmy kicked Roman Reigns in the face and broke off from the bloodline, I think that was Jimmy Uso's shining moment. I think that he will have shining moments in the future, but they got to have a direction for him, and I don't think that they have a direction right now for Jimmy Uso. So I think that Jimmy Uso is a lot more talented. I think that he can go. He just needs a new moveset, man, and he has to make the fans feel and get behind what he's doing. And I think that he will absolutely be the star that he is, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Usos, man. Yeah.
Well, that's it, man. I mean, it's been a great show. You know, we've covered everything. I mean, like you said, man, I hope that everything that they're doing with Jey Uso, his path to goal, leads him to the path to the goal. Like he, at this point, he needs to win the title now.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, you're going to kill his character completely if he does not win the world title at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Going back to real quick, going back to one of the questions that we posted when you was talking about the collaborations. We got a comment on Instagram from Brandon Club 2. It said people forget WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling had a strong partnership in the 70s and 80s. Hell, people forget that Ali and Inaki fight was a New Japan event and was broadcasted by Vince Jr.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Little wrestling history. We appreciate that.
A little wrestling history. Shout out everybody that's on Instagram that's watching this right now, man. And thank you for that comment. Yeah, man, it's gonna be good. We also got there's a lot of people that's watching this on Instagram, man. Shout out to Mike Quackenbush. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mike Quackenbush. Shout out to Elliot Shock. You know what I mean?
Elliot Shock is a really good talent on the independents. He's out there doing his thing. He's making waves, man. Like I said, North Carolina is on fire, man. And you know, there's people that say, "Oh, Georgia's on fire too." North Carolina and Georgia is probably the biggest ones in Florida. North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida on fire. Pennsylvania,
Texas up there.
tearing up in Pennsylvania. They're tearing it up in New York and New Jersey. They're tearing it up in Texas and Colorado. So, you know, shout out to those guys, man. Tennessee, shout out to Tennessee.
Absolutely. Shout out to all of them, man. And Yeah, I'm excited. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It's a great time to be a promoter, and it's a great time to just be in the wrestling world right now. You see a lot of eyes on the products. So shout out if you a wrestling fan right now, you winning, man. It's more wrestling than you can do than what you can do. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great time for opportunity.
There you go. Great time for opportunity. Well, beautiful people, it has been a great show. Roosevelt, do you have a final word for the beautiful people?
Absolutely. I saw this word earlier from, I want to say someone had it on TikTok and it was very interesting when I saw it. And it says, don't speak until you know you have the power to speak. Sometimes people, they have a lot to say. And sometimes they don't know how to say it, who to say it to. And even if you have a little quiver in your throat, when you have the power to speak, make sure you speak. Make sure you say what it is you want to say. Speak your truth. Get it out there. Speak your mind. Let the people know who you are and what you're about, and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. But just don't do it for the sake of doing it. Do it with some power. Do it with some strength. Make sure that when you, because you can't get it back. And there's no second chances of making your statement. Make it the first time. So don't speak until you have the power to. That is my final word for the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast.
All right, I dig that, man. That's good. I like that. All right. Beautiful people, my final word to you. And I want you to look at me in my pupils. Look at me in my pupils when I say this. Your dreams are worth the effort. Your dreams are worth the effort. Sometimes when we're working on something and we have these big goals that we want to accomplish, man, sometimes it can look like mountains in the distance. You know what I'm saying? And it's so easy to give up. It's so easy to give up on yourself. So easy to give up on your efforts. So easy to give up on your dreams. It's so easy to give up on being consistent. It's so easy to give up on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to give you this message that you are worth the effort. Your dreams are worth the effort. Your effort is worth the effort. You know what I'm saying? So I say this all the time, man, because it's such a big, powerful message and it's so simple. Believe in yourself. Believe that you are worth it. Believe that your dreams are worth it. Believe that all the work and all the sleepless nights that you had, all the pain scars is worth it once you accomplish what you accomplish. And success looks different for everybody. Money ain't the only measurement of success. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't even count money when it comes to certain types of successes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not everything and it doesn't give you satisfaction that achieving your dreams gives you. You know what I'm saying? So you are worth the effort. Your dreams are worth the effort. Believe in yourself. And you can do anything. That is a final word from your boy, Brian Renegade. Yeah. Oh, man. Beautiful people, man. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday or whatever day that you're watching this. I want to give a shout out and a special thank you to all of our sponsors, Nature Made, Marriott Bonvoy, Brickhouse Nutrition, Fanatics, Idle Cam, Tour Hub, Phoenix Foodies, Hilton Honors, The list goes on and on. We have at least 18 affiliate sponsors and main sponsors. So shout out to all of our sponsors, everybody that support us. If you want to help us support our sponsors, just click on the link below. And, we got some goodies for you. We got a link to Roasted Stovers. Shout out to Roasted Stovers Chocolate. Shout out to Giardelli Chocolates. We have all those links below. Shout out to trip.com. Everybody that supports the Best Damn Wrestling podcast, we love and thank you for being here with us in our journey. And we will continue to bring you great content. We will continue to bring you great wrestling content, great interviews, more entertainers, more actors, more fighters. The show is not just about wrestling. It's about life. It's about learning how people interact with each other, learning about characters. We talk fitness. We talk motivation. And that's the main part of this show, is to give motivation and a lot of inspiration to people that watch us and new wrestlers or new entertainers or new podcast hosts. I don't care what it is. We like to give motivation, and that's our main mission. We love wrestling, but at the end of the day, be real people will realize we can give a damn. You know what I'm saying? But what we want to do is touch people. And the biggest flex that I have, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off, but the biggest flex that I have is when people come on this show and they talk to myself and they talk to Roosevelt and they say, man, this was the best interview I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about legends in wrestling and newbies. You know what I'm saying? When somebody like come on our platform, they like, man, you guys this was fun. Oh man, this was great. Oh man, this is one of the best interviews I've ever had. I got to come back and do this. That is a big flex for us because we worked hard to bring you the content that we do, man, and put on some of the things that we do. And shout out to Roosevelt, man. You bust your ass, my brother, and you are a true example of a hustler. And you are a local legend, man. And I absolutely love you, my brother. So thank you for being on this journey with me. Because you put in the miles and the footwork. You know what I'm saying? For everything, Jack. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, I appreciate you for putting this all together, man. It started off with your idea. You know what I'm saying? It was a thought in your head, became an idea, and the idea became...
Actually, it was you. It was you.
It was me? No, it was you.
When we first got together, you was like, I want to do a wrestling podcast. I want to talk about wrestling. And then
I didn't say that.
I shot you a message. And I was like, what's up? Let's do it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But somebody came up with the idea. I just put it together.
You brought us all together. Either way, we here now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We eating good. We healthy. We eating good. We brothers, I love you too, man. Like you said, we got a lot of big things coming for you guys, man. So make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all tap in, because we're going to have some things coming up. And y'all going to be like, oh, man, these guys are really doing things that we didn't know was even possible. Like, what? You did? Wait, did they really just do that? I want to be a part of that. We want to have people coming to us like, hey, man, how can we be a part of your movement? What can we do to help you? We're going to have community leaders reaching out to us. We're going to have leaders in your government reaching out to us. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have the aliens from other planets reaching out to us. That's how good we're going to give it. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
how good we're going to get it. Yeah.
And make sure we take care home and the village.
That's it.
That's a good little line right there.
Take care of home and the village. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah. Take care of home, protect the village. Put that on the shirt. I dig it. Oh, man. Well, beautiful people, thank you for watching us. Thank you for being here with us. Shout out to all the truckers that drive this beautiful nation of ours. And you are the lifeblood of what's going on, man. I know it's crazy times out there, but we need our essential workers. Shout out to all the federal employees who are still holding it down amongst all of these department closures, man. You are absolutely necessarily needed. And, we need you right now.
Shout out to the teachers. Shout out to the teachers, man, because I've been working in the school system for the past couple of months, and man, it's a lot. Like I'm tutoring kids with the YMCA, and I have my own clientele that I tutor outside of within Wake County. I got 2 students in Florida, and man, these kids really need the village to help them get to where they need to be. These kids are struggling, and it's not because of the teachers. It's the resources. They need more resources. They need more people to give them different ideas and different ways of thinking and figuring things out. Some of these kids can't learn. One kid can't learn the same thing as another kid the same way. Jimmy can't learn 2 + 2 is 4 the same way that Kathy can learn 2 + 2 is 4. She may think 2 + 2 is cat. You got to help her get around that.
Gotta help her.
And it's a lot. So shout out to the teachers and the nurses, everybody that's out there doing something that we didn't know we needed so much until we are realizing that we may not even have it anymore. It may be a time that we may not have it. So it's a lot, man. And like I said, working in the school system and watching things go down with the DOE, and I'm just like, this is crazy. So shout out to all of you still, putting your work in, showing up every day, getting up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, clocking in, clocking out, making sure these kids get what they need, man. Shout out to y'all.
Absolutely, man. And shout out to everybody that listens to the Best Damn Wrestling podcast, not just here in America, but also internationally. So shout out to everybody that's in the UK, that's in Germany, that's in Japan, that's in Austria, you know what I'm saying, Ireland. A lot of the places listen to your boys at the Best Damn Wrestling podcast. It always brings joy to my heart whenever I see a new country and new listeners that, oh man, we got like 100 listeners in Brussels. Oh, snap. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just old country boy. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody around the world that listen to us, man. And we're growing. You know what I'm saying? So we've been in this thing for a while. I would consider ourselves amongst the original podcast groups for wrestling. It's so many, and I don't want to just categorize as a black podcast because we're not that. We just so happen to be black. But I'm happy to see all of these other podcasts that are popping up that are, these are wrestling fans, and although we bring a lot more to the table, right? I can't talk about other people. We bring a lot to the table. But it's good to see all of these wrestling fans that are popping up that are different races and colors talk about wrestling, man. We've been 3 years in this game, so we've been holding it down for some time. So shout out to all the newbies that's doing your thing, but we the originals. we the ones. We the ones.
And shout out to all you fans that's in other countries, man. Brian has the analytics of who's listening, and whenever he says something, I'm like, oh, that's cool. So make sure you guys keep tuning in, because you never know when I'm going to be in your country. There's opportunities for me to come to Canada this summer, Germany this summer, the UK this summer. I just connected with the promoter over in Qatar. Caprice Coleman goes out there and wrestles for them a lot. Yeah. I'm gonna reach out to this gentleman and see what we can do, see if something can happen. You just never know where I'm going to be. And make sure you guys tune in April 18th, that weekend, because I'm going to that man's house, and we're going to do a live show there. We're going to do some things. He's going to take me around and see the city, and you just never know what we're going to do right here in the best damn wrestling podcast, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, we're trying to go to Vegas, man. We'll see, man. We're trying to be in that room WrestleMania. I'm gonna ask Triple H some real hard questions. And I asked my nephew. I said, man, when I'm in this room, and he said he loved Jey Uso. So I said, all right, I'm gonna make it my business to try to interview Jey Uso. So I said, what question you want to ask? couldn't really give me a good question, so I'm gonna make up one to say he came up with it.
I want to interview Cody for my son. He would lose his mind if he knew that.
Yeah. I'm like, Jey Uso, I know that you are a married man. Whenever you are doing the do you yell yeet when you finish? I'm just sorry. What? That's a real question. That's what.
Hey, just like Cody. Whenever you get ready to do, you go whoa. Oh, we have too much fun up here.
It's too much fun, man. Don't mind us. Check out the rest of the episodes of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. We got some great interviews, man. We interviewed Mark James not too long ago. That interview is actually doing a lot of numbers, man. So shout out to Mark James. Shout out to everybody that we've been interviewing lately, man. We've had some great interviews. Sean Cruz, Alex Bryant, C-Rex, man. Your boy Alex Evans, just some great talent. Trayvon Ali, Mike Quackenbush. That interview was great. So check that out, man. Who?
We got a lot coming up. We got a lot
coming up. Oh, make sure y'all stay tuned, man. We got some ladies that's going to be joining the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. We got AEW. She was seen on AEW. Her name is Jordan Blue. She's going to be on the show April 9th. That's going to be a great interview, man. So, stay tuned for that. We got some good stuff. Beautiful people, we can't hold you no longer. Join us on all our platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, or you can go to the bestdamnwrestlingpodcast.com and check out our content. You can book Roosevelt for a professional training if you need to. You know what I'm saying? You can eat whatever you want and you can still look fit like Roosevelt over there, man. So check him out and see what he got going on. Check out our blog and check out all the episodes of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. We love y'all like play cousins. We will see you next week on the next Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Oh, man. Thank y'all for joining us. Beautiful people, we bid you adieu.